Hello everybody and welcome back to Indiethon Spring 2023. It's time for our next run, Glittermitten Grove by MikeOShay.
Hey everybody, my name's Mike. I'm going to be doing a speed run of Glittermitten Grove any percent here. I'm going to name our village Indieville, because why not? I decided to whip on some butterfly sunglasses at the last second. Felt it was festive. So, with that,
They look positively fabulous.
Thank you. Yeah, they are very small and very blue. It's kind of hard to see through them, but I don't think that'll impact the run.
You're gonna knock this out of the park anyway. You're fine.
Thank you. So if we're ready to go, I can count us down. We good? Okay.
Yeah, tech's good to go.
Sweet. Okay.
Get on rolling.
I'm gonna say 3, 2, 1, and go. So Glittermitten Grove is a village simulation game. You are trying to build a thriving fairy village, and to do that, we have to just kind of destroy the earth, dig a giant hole. It's a very strange game with a lot of interesting mechanics to it, and the general gist is you want to get 50 fairies in this village. And if that doesn't seem necessarily that interesting to you, please just give it like 5 minutes. I'm sure that you will be thoroughly entertained by this run. So what we've done here is we've, let's see here, I've got to build a sparkle hut. We've built this prism. It's going to harvest some sunlight, generate some of these sparkles, which will be used to shoot these fireworks. Normally you'd be exploring the top side here, going left and right and building a bunch of village stuff in trees, pantry, woodshed, all that. Nope, what we got to do is get about 4.5 of these torch depths deep and just keep on blasting. It's more of excavation than anything else right now. We can do this cast light spell, which takes some of the food from the fairies. It's not very nice, but these are the things you got to do in the name of going fast. And let's see here. I'll tell them to stop harvesting some of these resources and just get to digging. Come on. If you get to the winter period of the game, then all the trees die. You got to have a huge stockpile of food, but there are some rare resources further below that you can harvest. And that's what we're trying to get to as quickly as possible so that we can get there, ideally before spring of the first year here. There are a bunch of these crystals. If you shoot a firework and get the crystals early on, this top section is all randomly generated. Then you can build a second prism, which will harvest the sparkles a little bit quicker. But we're getting we're doing pretty good here. You get little messages from your fairy pal Titania sometimes. She's named after the fairy queen from Shakespeare's Midsummer Night's Dream. We're going pretty far. Is that a door? There's like a door down here. Hey everybody, my name is Mike. We're doing a speedrun of Text World today. Text World is a action-adventure game. It's sort of based on ZZT, which was an old DOS game by Tim Sweeney. You might know him as the creator of Epic Games. We just ran past the guy there. He doesn't want to let us through if we don't have a sword. He's kind of like Mido from Ocarina of Time, but we just, you can walk around him. There we go. And I also collected something called the autocorrect skates here, which let you corner a little bit better. Now I'm going to hit this punch yourself button, which respawns you at the top of whatever section you just entered from. And we're going to not show him our sword again here. And we're going to go through here, do a little bit of a Sokoban puzzle, and touch this Mind Stone. Hey everybody, my name is Mike. We're doing a speed run of Toaster Derivatives. Toaster Derivatives is kind of a mix of Flappy Bird and Cookie Clicker. You gotta get these resources, you increase the temperature of this toaster, which makes it flap up and down, and you can't actually collect that antimatter at the bottom there. If you get, I think, 1,000 degrees temperature, then your toaster just hits the ceiling and dies. And we've got to go through all these legally non-distinct green pipes. And that was all a lot of chaotic stuff right off the bat. You may be wondering, what happened to Indieville? Where are our fairies? So there was a game for web browsers called Frog Fractions. It starts off, you're a frog eating bugs and a bunch of fractions pop up. And eventually it gets wild. There's a DDR minigame, there's a courtroom drama. you wind up becoming the president of Bug Mars. And people enjoyed it. They kickstarted a sequel called Frog Fractions 2. And that Kickstarter turned into this huge ARG where people were getting shipped crazy boxes with blacklight ink and links to YouTube videos and secret Mario Maker levels, all sorts of wild stuff. Eventually, someone got shipped a big button. They pressed that button, and a huge update launched for a game on Steam called Glittermitten Grove. No one had paid any attention to this game, but it turns out, was that Frog Fractions 2? No, technically it's Frog Fractions 3. FF2 is considered to be the ARG and the Kickstarter itself. And so that's what this is. Now we're going to do a little return to text world there, and we're going to finally show this guy our sword. There we go, we showed him our sword, and now we're going to warp back over to the left here. So now that the cat's out of the bag about the whole minigame shtick, the next game we're going to is one called Spaxrus. And Spaxrus is some interesting stuff. There's an... Actually, wait, hang on. I gotta get through this room full of cockroaches here first. The sword that we collected actually has its own... It adds a block of width wherever it's pointing. Like, it has collision, so you have to maneuver it carefully and get around all these cockroaches, which can be kind of daunting. I'll see if I get eaten by any of them, but so far, so good. There we go. All right, that's a bad spot to do that, but that happens sometimes. You never know what's gonna happen up here in the sewer blimp. We still get messages from Titania here. She was off getting a sandwich. Okay, so before we can play Spaxrus, we gotta prove our age, which means we gotta do this little roulette thing here, and answer a bunch of trivia questions from 1895. Now I entered it a little bit later than usual, so hopefully I don't know all of the questions from this part of this. Is this it? Lady and Reconstruction. Okay, good. So we're finally playing Spaxrus, which is super passive-aggressive xenomorph roommate irritation simulator. We are roommates with the alien from the Aliens franchise. We don't want that. We don't like him. He's gonna get acid all over our stuff. We just want to make him move out, so we just kind of start stealing all of his things, mansplaining his games, and just being a general nuisance. And now we're in an alternate overworld, which is a bit of a stealth minigame. I kind of like the way that this unfolds, where it starts off normal, and then you see the next screen is shady, and then you see the overworld is shaded, and then on the next screen you start seeing these cops showing up here, these A's with the umlaut, and then we can pick up a grenade and throw it, but we turn out that these grenades are actually pears, so they splat on the wall, but it's still enough to distract these guys, so we can maneuver around. And this screen always has really bad ARG or RNG, so I got not the best. No, okay, good. We're out of range. and that we have to get captured on this one so we can move to the next screen. And the next game is Chess Invaders. Now, Chess Invaders is a live, real-time battle chess simulator, and I want to try and do a donation thing here where each piece on the enemy team I collect, I'm gonna put $2 in. If anyone wants to do something like that, then by all means, try to join in. And this is kind of a 2.5 minute auto scroller. You just gotta wait for 2.5 minutes to pass for this item to spawn in. So if we've got any shout outs or info about donation incentives, then that would be a good time to chime in with that.
Well, speaking of donations, I got one for you.
Ooh.
We received $20 from Eldritch Cthulhu with no message, but nevertheless, thank you very much for your $20. All going to Little Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, on the topic of incentives, we still have the character bid war for rolled out, with Morris the Rat winning at $8 and $0 for Snowcone the Chicken, Chartreuse the Giraffe, Guava the Koala, Tootsin the Axolotl, and Rock the Field Unit. So not a lot in it. A single donation can swing that bid war the way you want it to.
And to donate, you just scroll down from the stream, and there's a donate link. if I recall. You can, I think you can
Indeed,
go...
there is a link, a clickable link in chat as well.
Ooh, very good. So with this game, you move your pieces. There's a cooldown for each movement. When a rook spawns in, that's when we know that we're getting near the end. And until then, let's see. When you promote a pawn, when you get a pawn to the very end of the board, you can... Ooh, hang on. There we go. Then you can increase the amount of each piece that you can spawn. However, we don't really have a lot of useful pieces. It's useful to put a bunch of pawns around your king so that it doesn't get captured, which is actually look a little bit tricky. I gotta wait for them to finish spawning in so I can move the king out of the way there. Ooh, lost my queen. Ow. Okay, so now we've collected the bridge from the Atari game Adventure, which behaves very similar to how the bridge in that game worked. You can just pick it up and place it down over gaps. And now we got to get a purple key, so we go to the key gen. It plays a sweet chip tune. It's got a bunch of confusing text, and we do a little save and quit. So now that we've got the purple key, we have to go and get an orange key. There are no orange keys on the overworld, so I'll show you how exactly we're going to find out how to get one. I've got to collect a bunch of these symbols, which will be useful later. There's I think there are 18 symbols scattered around the world. These will have a use that I'll explain a little bit later, but when you collect the second one, there are 2 copies of each symbol. I'll explain that in a minute. I knocked over an orange paint can, fell into it, painted all my keys orange. That's just how stuff goes sometimes. So now that we have the orange key, we can go down into what I will call the frog room. That little O with the umlaut there, the green one, is a frog. And our goal is to talk to that frog and just get him to hang out with us. So we got to collect all these symbols. That one looks like one of the gorillas that we ran into earlier. The clubs in this game are gorillas. Let's see. And each of these symbols represents a different word in the frog's language. So usually you'd be playing through and figuring out what each of these things means and figuring out how to have the right conversation with this frog. But we know which ones we need to collect. When you collect the first symbol, it's yellow. Then the second copy of that symbol on the game turns pinkish purple. And if you collect a purple symbol, it plays something that's called a corn story. And you will hear what that is later on in the run. But things are coming along pretty well. There we go. Killed a gorilla. The things we have to do for the name of speed. And we are getting... Okay, yeah. So now we're getting to the frog room. I have to clear a message from Titania so I can see what the heck I'm doing, and I will translate as we go along. So we tell the frog, push the blue crate. The frog's got a bunch of these rotted out pears and was getting hungry, so we threw it a pear earlier. Get the blue key so that you can push the red crate, and then a gorilla's gonna show up. The frog's terrified, thinks the gorilla's gonna eat him. We tell him, okay, throw him the pear, it doesn't matter. The gorilla goes away. Please push this red crate. Frog gets an angry phone call from his wife. She's a cat. She doesn't want to have pears for dinner. So we tell him, okay, she can eat their pet goldfish. Please push this box. And so we got the water symbol. And we were able to tell the frog, please hang out with us. We got our first purple symbol here. There's a category called all purple symbols where you've got to do a bunch of extra mini games. There's a ton to this game that I have not been showing off in this any % run. And now we get a corn story.
Corn Master Sergeant John Jacob Christmas owed too much money on taxes, and his accountant informed him he needed to have a teen child pronto. Christmas started dating daytime soap star Monica Cruz, figuring that her fast-aging kid on the show was a result.
Oh, I collected a second one by accident, so we're getting a different story.
Neighboring farm. Corn gaffer Bjorn Bloomingdale misread the no trespassing sign as no traipsing, and assumed that as long as he walked solemnly and deliberately, the guard dogs wouldn't attack. At the hospital, doctors reassured him that a dog's mouth is cleaner than a human's. Not believing it, Bjorn convinced corn boom operator off trace route to bite his other leg to test the hypothesis. Bjorn died the next day because doctors did not have antibiotics powerful enough to treat both infections.
I love the names of characters in these corn stories. They've got stuff like, one of them's named Cisco Router. Like, good stuff. So this is a final gauntlet area where we go through a bunch of alternate overworlds, and time is gonna be coming up A few screens from now, it'll be a brown screen where I touch a white one of those Mind Stones that I touched earlier. And a couple more screens here. We're gonna get to it. And 1 second. Time! And that is the any percent run of Glittermitten Grove, aka Frog Fractions 3. Shouts out to Mostly Tiger Proof Games and Twinbeard for making it, and the Frog Fraction speedrunning community. This game came out about 6 years ago. I played it 4 years ago and was looking for speedruns. There was nothing. There were some hidden YouTube videos I couldn't really track down at the time, but there was no speedrun page for it. So if you're playing a game and you're thinking, where are all the runs? This feels like a great speed game. There might just be no reason. Go out, you can make your own page for it. So that's my little advice there. You can get into speedrunning. It's a fun time. It's fun to route this out. And hey, worst case, you get a de facto world record there. So that's about it. Time's up, and I'll as we get into the assistant directors here, I'll say goodnight stream and enjoy the rest of the marathon.
Yes, thank you, Mike, for this quite speedy showcase of Glittermitten Grove.
Yeah, my estimate was pretty high. It's come down quite a bit since I suggested it. If we've got a little bit of extra time, I can show off an extra quick thing, but
how long would you say it would be?
Well, like 2 minutes. I'm gonna fast forward through these credits here.
Yeah, I'd say we have time.
Okay.
If this causes problems, Nick can yell at me later.
Fair enough. Now I will say, don't adjust your streams. This is the frame rate of the game right now. The fast forward button from the credits has gotten stuck. We cannot resume normal speed, and we cannot enter the menu here. I guess I might as, since there's so many butterflies popping up, I might as well put the glasses back on.
So what you're saying is you're speedrunning time itself?
I seem to be, yeah. This is sort of the bit rush, or the bit rate crusher segment of the marathon, where we just have screen full of butterflies. I mean, the game will tell us if all the fairies leave our village, so I think, you know, they probably like invented movable type and stuff by this point. They got they got flying cars, I would assume, by year 30,000.
Is this what they mean by time flies?
It seems to, yeah. Yeesh. That all symbols run I was mentioning, by the way, has a lot of other fun minigames in it. There's one called Barber Pole Position, where you've got to drive a car by matching your voice's pitch to a barbershop pole. It's a really strange description, but it just winds up with the runner going ooh in a very silly way. Oh. This well, here's our beloved Indieville. I have some bad news about your trees. Oh, thanks, Titania. That's helpful. Well, with that, I think I'm done. Thanks for having me, Indiethon. Enjoy the rest of it. Goat Simulator 3 is going to be a lot of fun.
Yes, indeed. Thank you once again, Mike. And indeed, after the intermission, we are going to be continuing Indiethon with Goat Simulator 3 Beat the Farmer by Recalled. I don't know what the farmer did to deserve being beaten, but we'll find out right after this intermission.